Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24. We've just finished up one of our regular weekly events. I'm with Mehmet, who's a member of the Manuscrew Crazy Brew crew. And I'm just going to do a sort of what you would expect from gameplay over the weekend and in any games, or if you want to get into Flesh and Blood. Now, an introductory deck that is handed out by different stores and promoted by LSS is the Ira Crimson Haze deck. And that's what we'll be playing off against each other, Ira Red and Ira Blue. In a hero deck, you will have a hero who will potentially have an ability, an intellect, which is hand size, a health, and they will either be young or adult. Typically, an adult will have twice the health, and everything else is pretty much the same. You will then either have a one-handed and double, or a two-handed weapon, which will or potentially have an ability that you can then be using, and you might be able to attack using it. Cards in your deck may include actions or attack actions, defense reactions which you can play to defend, or attack reactions which you can play to improve your attacks. Now, on each card, you will have a pitch value, and we'll get to that later, a cost. If it's an attack, it will have an attack value. If you can defend using it, it will have a defense value, and typically there will be some text on it. Now, the Ira deck is quite basic, so there's not too much text going throughout, and a lot of the text is sort of supplementary, and it will talk you through it. Okay, on the board, as you can see, there's quite a lot of spaces. There is plus space for head equipment, chest equipment, arms equipment, and leg equipment. As you'll be using those throughout the battle between the two heroes, you'll be exhausting those. Now, the Ira basic decks don't have equipment as standard, but if you were in a blitz event or a constructed event, you can start building those up. You will notice on the right-hand side, you'll have a graveyard, so used cards will go here. You'll have your deck, which will be face down, and you'll be using cards from there. You'll have a pitch value, which we've already previously mentioned, and we'll get back to that again in a second. And then you've got a banished area. So certain cards in certain decks will all banish cards to this area, which may or may not be used at a later date. It's essentially a separate area. And finally, we have the arsenal. So as you've guessed, with weapons going backwards and forwards, that is where you'll be putting cards to use later and bulk up your abilities to play through. What you'll expect. So a pitch value is you will play a card. Now this is a 3-pitch blue to pay for a card, which I will pull out and attack. So this attack, well, not a very good example because that is a 0. So we will pick out a torrent tempo. So that costs 1. So we've pitched 3. So actually we've got 2 resources left over. Now that will stay there until the end of the turn. And should you need to on your defense turn, you can also pitch cards at the end of your at the end of the turn, whether you're the attacker or the defender. That will go to your bottom of your deck. If there are multiple cards here, you can put them in any order at the bottom of your deck that you wish. Essentially, you will be recycling those, so knowing the order that you're stacking them in is important. Okay, that's a lot of information probably to take in. So me and Mehmet are going to just crack on with a couple of rounds of the game, and you can see hopefully what's going on. So I'm going to give them a quick shuffle. And pop that on the deck. So traditionally, a lot of people roll 2d6s just to roll off, decide who's going first. So I've got a 12.
I got a 3.
I've got a 3. So you then decide whether you want to go first or second. On the opening hand, both players refill their hand to 4. So actually, in this instance, going first isn't necessarily the best thing. So I'm going to allow Mehmet to go first. Now you draw up to your intellect, as we said before. That's 4 for Ira. So I'll have 4 cards. Mehmet will have 4 cards to start with to start punching us, and see where he gets to.
Okay, so attacking with Edge of Autumn.
Okay.
It costs 1, so I shall pitch. It's a yellow pitch, so I have 1 resource remaining after pitching that.
Okie dokie. So I am going to block that. Now this is an attack action, which does have a defense value, so I can just defend for the defense value. So that blocks that currently. Now Mehmet could, if he wishes, have the option to add an attack reaction to it, which I would then have the option to defend react. but
No attack reactions from me.
and no defense reactions from me. So that would resolve 1 punch pushing through to 2, so I take no damage. And one of the special things about Flesh and Blood is the go again keyword. You have one action point on your turn, and should you have a card that has go again, that does refill that action point. So Mehmet can use another action.
Okay, I will use that. I'll spend my last resource and I play a Bitter Thorns. It's coming in for 3.
Okay.
But Ira has an ability where your second attack gains +1. So in actual fact, it'll be coming in for 4.
Which is quite nice. So what will I do? Because we know we're going to actually be getting, I'm going to get my cards back. I am going to block that out for 4. So 2 cards for 2 each. So that defends that.
Okay. I'll decide to end my turn there, even though this has go again, so I could attack again. But I decide that I will stop and I will place this into the graveyard.
Yep.
This will go back and I'll pull a card into my arsenal.
And I will also put my cards into the graveyard, closing out the turn. So as you see, Mehmet had a card in his pitch, so he's put that to the bottom of his deck. And we both, on the first turn only, draw up to 4. Okay. So it's my turn, and what I will do is I will attack with Edge of Autumn, pitching 2. I've got 1 remaining. That's coming in for 1 with go again.
I choose not to defend.
Okay. So I'm not going to react.
So I take a point of damage.
Okay. So I've got go again, so the priority's back with myself. And I'm going to use my other action point to play Turret of Tempo. So that's that action point. Sorry, my other resource to pay that off.
So
It's
that
coming in for 5.
you got
And if it hits, it gains go again. But I've got no resources and I've got 2 cards in my hand. Sorry, it's coming in for 6 because of Ira's ability.
Oh, okay. Yep. I shall block for 3.
Okay. So at this point, I've got the option to play an attack reaction, which I will. So I'm going to play a Lunging Press, which costs 0. So it increases it by 1. So that would actually mean it's coming in for a total of 7 at this point.
Okay. I play a defense reaction, Springboard Somersault. And this has an ability on there where it says if it was played from the arsenal, it gains +2 defense. So effectively, it defends for 4.
Which actually blocks out entirety. I choose to go no further, although I couldn't because it didn't have to go again. So I will just pass my turn. These will go to my graveyard. My weapon comes back, and the card I pitched goes to the bottom of my deck. I draw 4. Mehmet doesn't draw up any more cards on his until the end of his turn. So he's now only got 3 cards to go with.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with an attack with the Edge of Autumn, pitching a blue. That gives me 3, so I have 2 left.
Okay. So I am going to not block.
No reactions from me.
No reactions from me, so I'll take 1.
Second attack, I'll play a Whirling Mist Blossom. Cost the resource. And it attacks. Its base attack is 2, but it gets the +1 from Ira, so it's coming in for 3.
Okay. Coming in for 3. Okay. I've just got to see what I would like to do. I'm not going to block. So one of the things in Flesh and Blood is about tempo. So if I block this out, I'm going to start losing cards from my hand, which means I'm not going to be able to attack back on my turn, which means Mehmet will then start putting more and more pressure on me as the game goes on. I'm going to use this whilst I've got my health to actually take the attack. So I will take 3.
Okay. Ira has an ability that when this hits, and it's the second or higher chain link in a row to hit, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
It's the second in a row to hit, so I get to draw 2 cards. And then I'll spend the resource and I'll attack with another Whirling Mist Blossom. But this time it's only coming in for 2.
Yeah. But it is second or more, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. Oh. And this is the thing, is I think I've got something in my hand, and I think I'm going to be able to do some damage. But I also know that that's quite potent. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
You're going to let it through.
But then you're going to draw more cards.
That's the whole idea.
Let's see what you're going to do then. I'm going to let it go through. I'm going to take the 2.
You're going to take the 2?
Yeah. Let's see what
Okay,
you can
so
do.
I draw 2 more cards because of its a hit effect. Okay. Two resources remaining. Oh, sorry. Pitching 2 resources. Spending 1, playing a torrent of tempo.
Okay.
This is coming in for 5. And this has an ability, if it hits, it gains go again.
Okay. I think at this point we need to shut down Mehmet's attack, because if not, I'm going to be taking quite a hit. It does hurt for what I had planned, but we shall see. Okay, so I'm going to block for 5.
Yep. I can't do anything about that.
So let's shut down Mehmet's turn a bit.
No reactions.
But it has got he's got through quite a bit of damage there. So pass everything to graveyard. Mehmet will arsenal a card. And then he'll draw up. Now, as I said before, I've only got 2 cards, so Mehmet's definitely got a bit of tempo on me. So we shall see what I can do. Okay. I will, and this is what I was going to open with, and this is why I wanted to take a bit of damage. So I'm going to start with Scar for a Scar. So it hits for 4, and if I have less health than my opponent, it's got to go again. Well, I do have less health, so it's got to go again, coming in for 4.
I'll not block.
Okay, no reaction from me.
So I take 4.
Yeah.
I go down to 15.
Yeah. And I am then going to pitch 2, and I'm going to swing with Edge of Autumn to swinging for 2 because it's a second attack. I will be carrying 1 resource at the moment.
Again, I won't defend.
Okay, so no reaction from me.
So I take 2.
Okay, fine. I'm going to pass the turn, even though I've got a resource that is lost at the end of the turn. That will come back to me. That will go to graveyard, and that will go into the deck. I'll draw 4, and Mehmet must have a killer hand because he's held on to that.
Well, I did the same thing as you done, Alan. I had a Scar for a Scar in my hand, so I'll play this, and because I've got less health than you, it has go again.
Nice.
So
Nice.
coming in for 4.
Okay. So I'm just gonna take that, I think. So I've got no blocks.
Okay, so you take 4.
4.
I'm going to come in with Edge of Autumn for 2.
Okay.
And 2 resources remaining.
I think I've got to hold on to this one, so I'm not going to block.
Okay, so you take 2 more.
Take 2 more.
And then
Flying kick.
I'll come at you a flying kick. Now, flying kick says if it's played as chain link 3 or higher, it gains +2.
Whoa.
And it's on chain link 3.
Okay. So this is obviously presenting quite a lot of damage to me, but
Yeah.
I think I've got something. Depending upon whether whether Mehmet's gonna. I think he's gonna try and push through a little bit of extra damage to kill if he's got a smile on his face. So let's see if I can block something up here. So no blocks.
No blocks. Okay, no reactions from me. No attack reaction.
So I will defend react with a somersault, springboard somersault for 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will pass back for reactions to Mehmet.
Nothing from me.
Nothing else from me.
Okay.
So pass through. So I will be taking 5.
5. Okay, and then comes back. Graveyard. Arsenal.
Okay. So I've done it again. We've got Scarf for 4.
Oh my word!
Oh,
We're on 3.
Yeah, I'm only on 3.
Okay.
So that's going to be coming in for 4 with go again.
4 with go again. Okay. No defense reaction.
No reaction.
Springboard. It's coming from the Arsenal, so again it has +2. The block defending for 4.
Perfecto. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my next one. So another Scarf for Scar, and because it's the second attack and Ira's ability, it gives it +1, so it'll be coming in for 5.
Coming in for 5, eh? I'll defend with one of my own Scarf for Scars.
Okay.
Defending for 2.
No reactions from me.
None from me.
So take 3.
Take 3.
I will then come in with Edge of Autumn, pitching 3, so that costs me 1. And down to 2 resources.
Okay.
And I'll be coming in for 1.
I'm just wondering. You've got to go again. Wondering if you've got a flying kick in your Arsenal.
That's it.
Okay, well, I'm going to take this 2. 1, sorry.
Yeah. And surprise, surprise, flying kick for 7. That uses the 2 resources.
Flying kick for 7. Okay, this is very dangerous.
So I think now Mehmet's got choices to make, whether he takes that and tries to put the final bit of pressure on me, or whether he tries to block it out.
Yeah.
But that's going to give me tempo.
I think I can do that.
Okay.
I can take 7. I'll go down to 2.
Yeah. Okay, so they will go to my graveyard. I'll go to the bottom of my deck. And I draw 4. I think that was probably the better choice, because if he didn't, I was just going to be coming back again and again. So
yes. I'm going to keep some tempo coming in with a Scar for a Scar. I've got left life. So now my one has go again as well.
Oh, and he's got 2 cards there. Oh, this is quite deadly now, isn't it? So, what have I got? What have I got? So I will block 3.
Take 1.
Yeah, no reactions from either of us. So.
Pitching. I've got pitch a yellow, so I get 2. Spend 1 for Edge of Autumn, coming in for 2.
Coming in for 2. So I'm going to be blocking that for 2.
Okay, and finally, Torrent of Tempo coming in for 5.
I mean, that's just killer, isn't it? So I'm going to block for 3, and any reaction.
No reactions from me.
And then I will springboard
and stop the 5.
Stop the 5.
Yeah.
So that's very much give Mehmet tempo. So they get cleared away. Mehmet will draw for the end of his turn. Pass to me. I have nothing on my turn. I have no resources, no abilities. So I will just draw and pass back.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Well, we can't Scarf for Scar each other anymore at the minute.
No, I think they're all gone, haven't they? But we're on the same lives. We can't. Yeah, you're right. Okay, this is interesting. I shall pitch a jab. Stab with Edge of Autumn for 1.
Oh. I'm going to play with fire and I'm going to not block.
Oh, okay. So you take 1.
Take 1.
And then I swing in with an Edge of Autumn. And this one, if it hits, my next attack gains +1. Although if it hits, you're dead. So,
Well, yeah, that's it.
but it's coming in for 4.
So I will block for 3.
You're still dying. The survivor.
Ah, so
you
yeah,
wanna
so I
block?
got you. Yeah, so I got you. So apologies. So I will block 5.
You'll block 5, and then I'll pitch and come in with a flying kick for 7.
There we are. Now all I can do is block for 4.
And you take
So I take 3.
3.
There we are. So that was a great game there, Mehmet, and thank you for helping us showcase what we've got with Flesh and Blood. Now, obviously, there's a lot of variety of different heroes out there for different sets and different appetites. Now, these are quite basic. There's a lot more mechanics on top of that. But if you're looking to get into the game, check out your local game store who may have some Ira decks. If not, reach out to us here at Tabletop 24, and we might be able to help. So thanks a lot. Thanks, Mehmet.
Thank you, Alan.
So take care. I'll catch you next time.